Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 88 of Touched. This one is titled Thursday Part 1. It was now Thursday, the fated day, and you got ready to go out with Brian while Hawks got Hiyoko dressed and ready for their day together. You had offered to do the usual morning routine with Hiyoko, but Hawks wanted to prove that he could do it just fine by himself, so you resigned the responsibility to him and took your time getting ready. Nugs, hey, hold still, I can't put you... Oh, look how clever you are. You can now nom on your toes. You heard Hawks comment to your little bundle and you smiled to yourself from the bedroom. How are we going out here, you asked as you walked out. You looked over to see Hiyoko in only a nappy and pants, his chubby little hands wrapped around his ankle and his nubby toes in his mouth as Hawks was on hands and knees over him on the floor, chatting away. Keigo, you're supposed to leave at 8:30 a.m, yeah? You asked as you glanced at the clock. Mm-hmm. He hummed as he continued to pull faces at Hiyoko, making the little bub giggle and babble. Well, it's 8:35, you deadpanned. Sorry? 8:25, Hawks asked, not looking at you as he remained heavily distracted by Hiyoko. No, 35. 35, as in, you're running 5 minutes late already, you said bluntly. Late? Late! Hawks said in a sudden panic as he finally realised what you had said. We'd better get going, Nugget, he added as he stood up and picked the half-dressed bundle up. Wait, hang on, Yoko's only half-dressed, you said with a laugh as you reached for Hiyoko's shirt that was draped over the armchair. You skillfully put it on and handed him back to Hawks, then made sure everything was in the nappy bag and kissed them goodbye. Hawks took off into the sky with Hiyoko in arms, and the little bundle squealed with excitement and tried to flap his wings, so Hawks held him with his arms extended beneath him, letting Hiyoko practice. All too soon they arrived at the agency building, and Hawks tucked Hiyoko into his arms as they entered through the doors. Oh my gosh, the receptionist gasped when she saw Hawks with his little boy in arms. Oh, he's so cute! Hawks beamed with pride and held Hiyoko out for her to take him, and she squealed with excitement as she snuggled the winged baby's chubby cheeks against her face. Oh wow, Hawks, is this your baby? Another colleague asked as she approached the receptionist and Hiyoko. Oh my ovaries, he's too much! The two women fawned over the baby, while Hawks stood there proudly with a lopsided grin on his face. Slowly more and more people came over to oogle Yoko, and Hawks pulled his phone out. Okay everyone, he said as he turned around and held his arm out to take a selfie with them behind him. Smile for the camera! Everyone looked up and smiled, pulling faces and throwing up the peace sign, while Hiyoko stared at the lady who was holding him. Hawks took the photo and then switched to Snapchat and started recording with his arms still outstretched. Hey Jill, he called to the lady who was holding Hiyoko. Make a chirping noise. What? She asked with a laugh, looking at the back of Hawks's head while he continued to smile into the camera. Hiyoko, the receptionist, and the others still in the background. Just do it, he encouraged. She looked at Hiyoko, who was still staring at her side profile. Chirp, 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 she said awkwardly. Hiyoko immediately brightened and made a little excited squeak and then vibrated his wings in response to her noise, and the crowd lost it. Hawks burst out laughing as a chorus of "Ohs" and "ah" erupted, the video screen shaking slightly with his laugh. I'm sending this to the wife, he said with a chuckle as he turned around and addressed the group who were making the chirping noises again to get Hiyoko to vibrate his wings. There was so much noise and random people pushing forward to see him that he suddenly burst into tears, overwhelmed by the attention, his bottom lip popping out as he wailed. Okay, Hawks said sympathetically. The star has had enough, I'd better take him, he said, taking him back from the receptionist's arms. Oh, sorry little man, she said sadly. I hope I get to hold you again soon, once you've calmed down. I'll bring him back down a little later, Hawks promised as he patted and consoled his little one, pushing through the crowd towards the elevator. Thanks all, he called over his shoulder as he left. He hopped into the elevator, then headed up to his level, getting out and walking to the office. Well, that was a heavy start today, wasn't it? He commented to the now calm Hiyoko. Don't worry, you'll get used to all the attention. He got to his office and pushed the door open, then shut it behind them, sighing happily as he walked to the desk and popped the rather large and overfilled baby bag onto the desktop. Okay, he muttered to himself. Now to get out the playmat, hey Nugget? He fished around in the bag till he found the fabric cover, then pulled it out and flicked it out with one hand and lay it down on the ground beside the desk. Here you go, he said with a satisfied grin as he plonked Hiyoko down in the middle of it. Hiyoko turned his head over his shoulder and whimpered, bottom lip quivering slightly as his big eyes begged for his daddy to pick him back up again. What's up, bud? Hawks asked as he looked down at his unhappy little bundle. It's nice on the mat there, he said as he walked around in front of Hiyoko and crouched down to play with him for a bit. Hiyoko finally relaxed and started playing with the feathers that Hawks had plucked out, waving them around in the air with his chubby little hands. Hawks smirked and stood up. I'll be right here, okay? He said as he sat down at the desk, keeping one eye on the bundle of chubs that was sitting on the mat. Hiyoko sat for a bit, playing with the feathers, and Hawks pulled his phone out to send the picture and Snapchat video to you. He unleashed his ultimate move, Hawks captioned the Snapchat video and chuckled to himself as he watched it over again. He hit send and then got into the messages and sent the photo to you. Well, looks like the first thing I said would happen, happened, he typed, adding the smug face and a red heart. 1 point to me. See, I knew he'd behave for me today, Hawks thought smugly. He hit send and then turned the phone screen off and looked over casually to the playmat. It was empty. Hiyoko? Nugget! He said suddenly, standing up quickly to look around the room. Hiyoko had practically vanished. Where the hell did... Suddenly there was a little squeak of pain that came from underneath Hawks's desk, and he quickly pushed his desk chair back to kneel down and look under. There was Hiyoko, wedged up under there, his large wings caught between the desk leg and the set of drawers. Oh no, okay Nug, stay there, I'll get you out, Hawk said as he half crawled under and tenderly tried to pry Hiyoko's wing free so he could get him out. Well, let's just not let you know about that one, hey? Hawks thought with a grimace as he got Hiyoko out and sat him on the mat again. It didn't take long for Hiyoko to flop over onto his stomach and start pulling himself along the floor, flapping his wings occasionally to try and lift himself up. Hiyoko had just made it to the cupboard when Hawks got to him and picked him up, carrying him back to the mat. You move quick for someone that technically can't move, Hawks said with a chuckle. And there ends chapter 88. Stay tuned for chapter 89.